Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we try to figure out what companies are really trying to say when they filed their official documents with the Securities and Exchange Commission or SEC. You know how sometimes you read something and you think, wait, what does that even mean? Well, don't worry, we break it down for you. And today we are looking at Monolithic Power Systems Inc. Ticker symbol MPWR, and it looks like they just made a change that could give shareholders a little more power. Before we dive in, if you love getting these kinds of straight up insights from official corporate filings, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. And if you want to chat with us and other finance enthusiasts, check out our Discord community link, which is in the description below. Okay, let's get to it. So Monolithic Power Systems Incorporated, or MPWR as they are known on the stock market, has filed a current report that is a Form 8K, and this one is pretty straightforward but has some interesting implications for their owners. They have essentially changed the rules for how shareholders can call a special meeting. What this filing tells us is that on the 19th of November of 2025, the company's board of directors approved updated bylaws. Think of bylaws as the internal rulebook for a company. These new rules are effective right away. Now here is the key change. Before this, if shareholders wanted to call a special meeting to discuss important company matters, they needed to collectively own at least 30% of the company's voting stock. That is a pretty high bar, but with these new bylaws, that threshold has been lowered to 25%. This means a smaller group of shareholders now have the power to force a special meeting. Why did they do this, you ask? Well, the board says they looked at a few things. First, they saw that at their 2025 annual meeting, a lot of shareholders voted in favor of a proposal that would have lowered the threshold even more to just 10%. This proposal wasn't binding, it was more of a suggestion. But the company also heard from their biggest investors, the top 10 stockholders. These big players told the company they supported a lower threshold, but not as low as 10%. They wanted something higher, so the board landed on 25% as a middle ground, after also looking at what other similar companies are doing. So what does this really mean for you as an investor? Well, when a company lowers the threshold for calling special meetings, it generally means they are trying to be more responsive to shareholder concerns. It can empower shareholders to push for changes they believe will benefit the company and its stock price. It might mean more engagement between the company and its owners. On the other hand, it could lead to more meetings and potentially more disruption if there are disagreements. For MPWR, it shows they are at least listening to their major shareholders and trying to balance that with the broader shareholder sentiment expressed in that non-binding vote. This document is Exhibit 3.1, which is the actual amended and restated bylaws. Essentially, it contains the full legal text of the new rules. And then here we have Exhibit 104, which is the interactive data file, a sort of digital companion to the report. Nothing too exciting there for us viewers. And finally, we have the signature section where Saria Singh, the Executive Vice President and General Counsel of Monolithic Power Systems, Incorporated, signs off on the report, officially making it part of the public record. The date on this signature is the 21st of November 2025. Now let's put on our investor hats and think about the broader picture here. Monolithic Power Systems operates in the semiconductor industry, specifically focusing on high-performance analog and mixed-signal integrated circuits. This is a competitive space, but their focus on efficiency and power management means they are well positioned for trends like electric vehicles, 5G, and the Internet of Things. This change in bylaws making it easier for shareholders to call a meeting might be a sign that the company is maturing and recognizes the importance of good corporate governance and shareholder relations. It shows a willingness to adapt and listen, which are generally positive signs in the long run. Looking at this filing, we don't see any major financial revelations like revenue growth or profit margins. This is not a financial report like a 10Q or 10K. It's purely about corporate governance. However, the move itself is strategic. By lowering the threshold for calling a special meeting, MPWR is proactively addressing potential shareholder activism. They likely want to avoid activist investors who might try to force quick or potentially damaging changes. Instead, they are signaling that they are open to dialogue and engagement with their investors on a more structured basis. This could be seen as a strength as it promotes transparency and accountability. One notable risk, though, is that if there is significant shareholder discontent in the future, this lower threshold could lead to more frequent shareholder-led meetings, which could distract management and increase governance costs. So while it is a move towards empowering shareholders, it is a balance that needs to be carefully managed. In conclusion on this filing, MPWR has made a sensible adjustment to their bylaws. It demonstrates a commitment to shareholder engagement and good governance. While it is not a direct financial update, it is an important signal about how the company plans to operate and interact with its owners going forward. We will be keeping an eye on how this plays out for MPWR and its shareholders. This is ultimately a good move towards transparency and responsiveness from the company. Alright, that is our breakdown of Monolithic Power Systems Incorporated latest filing. What is your take on these bylaw changes and what they signal for the company's future? Do you think lowering the ownership threshold is a good idea? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps us out, and subscribe for more deep dives into corporate filings. And don't forget to check out the Discord link in the description to join the conversation. Thanks for watching, see you next time.